Hey everyone, it's MK. Welcome back. So I'm here to do a quick video for you this morning on how I use the skincare and cosmetics in my morning routine. First thing is, I'm feeling pretty exposed again. I'm feeling like this isn't all that pretty right now, so I'm kind of putting myself out there, right? And the second thing is I'm doing this from my bathroom. I feel like the lighting's not great in here, but I don't have a ring light yet or a better place to do these videos. So this is what I'm gonna do for now until I have a better setup. Baby steps, right? Baby steps. So come along with me and I'll show you what I do in the morning to put my pretty on. Okay, so my face is washed, it's dry, and the very first thing that I put on every morning, the anti-wrinkle cream. Okay, who among us doesn't want to get rid of or slow the progress of wrinkles? So I just put a little bitty pump on my finger and then very gently in all those areas where I have a little bit of problems with those wrinkles, I just kind of go very gently and tap that in, okay? So remember guys, with all of these products, you want to use them sparingly. A little goes a long way. Okay, also the next thing, I have still problems with adult acne, some breakouts. I do take a medication for that, but since I've been using ShadowSense, it's really been helping my skin. I've had fewer breakouts and I've had much less redness on my face. But what I usually do is a very, very small pump of the spot on treatment, okay? This is a blemish and acne treatment. Obviously, some of you are probably going to skip that if you don't have those issues. I just use a very, very tiny amount. And my problem areas tend to be right here, a little bit around the sides, and sometimes just in this area. Okay, so very, very small amount. I just kind of tap that in, sometimes up on my nose. But those are just the problem areas for me. And so just a very, very small amount. Okay? All right. Next thing that I use every day, regardless of whether I'm putting on foundation or tinted moisturizer, is our Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. And I'm sorry if this is not focusing in very well. I'll make sure to list all the products after the video. Okay, so our Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer is just that product that preps our face for the rest of our cosmetics that we're going to use. Okay, so I just put this, I start by just kind of dabbing it all over my face. And again, guys, we want to be very careful about dragging our hands on our skin because we don't want to pull on our skin. And then sometimes I just use a brush. This brush I use for any product that doesn't have tint in it, okay? So I save one brush that I use just for moisturizers and creams. And again, just so that I'm gentle to my skin, I just kind of pat that in until I can feel that it's dry. Smells really, really, really nice. And it just fills in those, if you have larger pores, or again, the wrinkles, it's just gonna smooth out your skin tone. And I just happened to hold up my hand. I got wearing my stripes in the video. Okay, so those are the first things that I put on every single day. And again, just to review, I start with the anti-wrinkle, then I put a very small amount of the spot on treatment just in my problem areas, and then I go with the Silk Pore and Wrinkle Minimizer. All right, on to foundation. Again, I mentioned that I have redness in my skin, and it's taken me a couple of testing bottles that I ordered up to kind of zero in on my perfect foundation shade. Even still, I feel like I need a little bit of concealing on my skin. So what you're going to see me do is use a little bit of our white concealer. That just tones down my foundation a little bit. And what I'm using is the anti-aging foundation, and I'm using the color Porcelain. Okay, so what I do is I just take my white concealer and I just do a very, very small little amount in the palm of my hand. And then again with the foundation, a little goes a long way. So I'm just gonna put a little squeeze in there And that's all I'm going to use all over my whole face. Okay, I'm just going to rub it in just to kind of get that concealer mixed in with the foundation. And then what I do is I just kind of start patting it on my face where I know it's going to go, obviously, get it kind of started. And then I use my brush, my foundation brush. And I got these brushes on Amazon. I can go ahead and put a link up to the brushes. And then I just start blending it in. Now the nice thing about our foundations, even though I went through a few colors until I found the one that I liked the best, our colors or our foundations color match up to, like, I've heard 3 tones. Okay, so if you want a beauty book, just reach out to me. That'll list all of the foundation colors. And I'm just tapping my hand to get a little bit more product in those areas where I need it. And we just want to make sure that that's all blended in really well. But again, if you want to know more about the foundations, we actually have 2 different lines of foundation. And one of them has the anti-aging properties in, which is what I have been using. But I've heard some chatter from some of the other girls about just our regular foundation. And I'm going to order up one and test it just to see how it feels, the coverage, difference in the coverages, okay? But as long as I don't get too much foundation on, as long as I use it sparingly, I haven't been having as much issue with oiliness as I had before, okay? So it's pretty much all gone. I only used a little bit. I'm going really gently onto my eyelids, but we're going to address my eyelids and some problem areas of redness next. All right, next. Even though the foundation did a very good job of evening out my skin tone, I find that my eyelids are a little darker than the rest of my face, and also I get the problem areas with the redness right through here, a little bit on my nose, a little bit right here. So what I'm going to use next is actually our ShadowSense. Okay, so this is actually our eyeshadow, and I'm going to put that on in a minute on my actual lids. But the Candlelight, so ShadowSense and Candlelight is what I use as a concealer. So if you have light or fairer color skin, you can use the Candlelight as a concealer. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit on my eyelids, a little bit on my nose, just a little bit through here where I get the problem areas. And again, you can see it's not a lot that I'm using, but it's just enough to help in those problem areas where I develop the redness. Okay, so anywhere where you have problem areas, and I'm just hitting my eyelids there a little bit with this brush, and then I'll go to another brush. Okay, you want to kind of get at the ShadowSense pretty quickly because it will start to set up on you. Okay, and then I have just a small eye makeup brush that I go in and just do the rest of the blending with the little eye brush. Okay, looking good so far. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is a technique that I saw on a YouTube video. I have eyes that are kind of, my lids kind of come down over, or I guess the skin above my lids kind of flaps down a little bit. And if I use a lot of eyeliner on the top part of my eyelid, I just feels like I feel like it closes in my eyes even more. So what I am going to do is a technique called tight lining. Okay, and I see that I got a little bit more blending to do there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again use a ShadowSense. So this is our ShadowSense eye makeup in black. Actually, it's called Onyx. And what I am going to do is I'm not really going to line the top of my eyelid. I'm going to line the underneath area. Okay, now you might think, oh, I'm getting too close to my eye, or, you know, I'm doing my waterline, which is touching my eye. I am taking great measure with a very, very fine tipped brush. I am taking very great measure to go accurately right up into my lash line, okay? Hence the word tight lining. Okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit of product on my brush. I'm going to blow it a little bit. Okay, I stopped talking there just so that I can do it a little accurately. But I think you can already tell from this eye to this eye how that tight lining just kind of makes the appearance that I have thicker lashes along the lash line, okay? And do it just a little bit more. Just like that, okay? Now the video that I got this technique from, they actually use an eye pencil, but we don't have eye pencils with Synogens. I wanted to use my own products, and so I've been using the Onyx, and it's been working really well. If you have lighter eyelashes, you could pick another tone of the LashSense, okay? Or the ShadowSense, rather. Just didn't quite get enough product for that other eye. There we go. Okay, so I'm not really getting on the waterline of my eye. I'm just tucking that product right on the lash line. Okay. All right, and sometimes what I do after I've done my top lid, again, I don't like a heavy eyeliner on the bottom, but I will just use the rest of the product that's already in my brush, and I'll just do a very small amount of lining on the bottom. All right, on to our eyeshadow. All right, I'm gonna show you a really easy eye look that I go to almost every day, and I'm gonna use my favorite ShadowSense colors. So the first color that I'm gonna use is Mulberry, okay? It's just kind of a rosy pink color. It's just really nice for doing just a little bit of highlighting in that crease area without getting too dark for me. So I just take the product, pull the applicator out, wipe a little bit of it off so that we're not going to get too much, and I'm just going to dab 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just kind of in my crease area there. Then I'm going to let it dry for like 2 seconds or 3. Then I'm going to come with my ring finger, and I'm just going to start by patting it out. Okay, so I just kind of want to get that blending started, and then I come in again with my favorite blending brush that I have, and I just blend that into the crease there. A little bit up towards the brow line there, but not all the way up, okay? Basically just in the crease. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to Garnet. Again, Garnet is another ShadowSense, and it can go a little bit dark on me. So with this one, I have to be a little bit careful. Again, wipe a little bit of the product off, and I'm just gonna put a dot or two right there in the corner of my eye. This time I'm gonna use a little bit thicker pointed brush. Again, I just let that dry for a couple of seconds. I use my finger to start with, and then this time I'm just going really carefully with this more pointed brush and kind of get it there in the corner where I want it. That looks good to me. Back to my regular brush that I do all my blending with, and just get that in a little bit deeper. So see how it just gives a little bit darker look on the outside tip of my eye. Okay, let's do that on the other side. All right, Now, the next color for highlighting, you can use a couple of different colors that we have in the line. Some people like to use the Sandstone Shimmer. It's just a really nice, kind of a creamy taupe color. I like to use the Pink Frost. And what I'm going to do with the Pink Frost is use it a little bit for highlighting. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit on the inside tip of my eye there, inside corner, and a little bit up along the brow line. Take my blending brush and go in. So I like to do the highlighting after I've done my other parts of my eye, just in case I got anything a little too dark. I can go in with the highlighter and just bring that down just a little bit. Okay? Same thing on the other side. And again, with the ShadowSense, just be careful that you might want to rub just a little bit off, because that applicator, it's living in that product, right? So it gets pretty saturated. And again, a little goes a long way. So those ShadowSense are going to last you, I would say, about 3 months or more. Probably even more for just areas like this where you're just using them very sparingly. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Garnet because I forgot to do my eyebrows when I had the Garnet out. So the Garnet for me, we're heading into fall at the time that I'm making this video, and the Garnet for me is really matching my hair color really nicely. And I'm going to use just kind of a flat brush like this. Some girls use more of a tapered brush like that. You find what brush works for you. This one works really nice for me because I can use it in the flat edge of it in the thicker part of my brow, and then I can twist it to the side and use the thinner part of it. Again, just with the Garnet, I'm just getting a little bit of product on the brush, and then I'm coming in with the fatter part of the brush in my fatter part of my brow, and then angling that out to the outer part there. Okay, and it just fills my brow in really, really nicely. And I know I have my hair pulled back, it's just not looking really nice right now, but this Garnet color just really, really matches my hair color right now and my brow color. If you get it on in a little thick in any area, what you can do is come through with one of these little brushes like that and just give it a little brush out, and that basically just brings that down a little bit if you used a little too much. Okay, so we'll do the other side. I just love this, being able to use the eyeshadow as a brow filler. Works really, really well. I would have to say, just by using the cosmetics that I've been using the last several months, I think the ShadowSense is probably the most versatile product that we have in our line. And you're going to see another area where I'm going to use it in just a minute. Okay, so I mentioned that the ShadowSense is probably our most versatile product in the line. I am now going to go to the ShadowSense in the color Mocha Java. And I am going to use the Mocha Java for a little bit of contouring. Okay, again, I got a little bit off the applicator, and I'm going to use it on the bottom parts of my cheek just to get that definition on the sides. Okay, again, 3 little dots. And it's just taking a second to set there, just a couple seconds to dry. And then I'm using more of a contouring brush, and I'm just going to come in here and just kind of get at that. And I also just kind of bring that product up into my hairline. And you know, the darker colors will recede. So if you have a little bit plumper face like me, that's going to give the illusion of a narrower face, narrower through the cheeks, under the cheekbones there. Okay, so just a little bit. And I'm really not sure how well this is showing up on camera, but it looks really good in the mirror. Okay, next, I am going to use our ShadowSense as blush. I love this. This is the quickest on the go way to do my blush that I have found. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of color mixing. I'm going to use the Garnet and I'm going to use the Mulberry. I'm going to combine those two together, and I'm going to use a little bit of our product called Pearlizer. Okay, our Pearlizer is in our foundation line, and it just says what it is what it says. It's just a foundation that has a little bit of shimmer built into it so that you get that nice, healthy, natural glow. Now, I was experimenting with putting a little bit of this actually in with my foundation. It was getting a little bit dark on me, but you can certainly try that out a little bit if you want to order up some foundation. Try mixing a little bit with the Pearlizer, and it just gives your skin a nice glow. Okay, so for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Garnet and I'm going to use my ring finger, and I'm just going to put a little swipe of the Garnet on my finger. Not a lot because the Garnet is dark. Then I'm going to come in with the Mulberry, and I'm going to do the same thing. A little bit more I'm going to do with the Mulberry because that's mostly the color that I want. Then I'm going to come with the Pearlizer, just put a little bit on my fingertip. And then I'm going to take all of this product that I got on my fingers, and I'm just going to kind of swirl it around. So I'm just doing this on my fingertips. Okay, now I'm going to be careful not to get too much. I'm just going to kind of come through here and tap it. If you need to smile to find that sweet spot, that little apple spot on your cheeks, I'm just tapping this in here. Then I'm taking my blush brush, and I'm just going to brush my fingers off so that I get any more product onto the brush. And then I'm just coming in here and I'm just blending away, okay? And for me, that combination of the ShadowSense, by using a little bit of the dark, a little bit of the light, mixed together with the Pearlizer, gives me that medium tint for my cheeks that I love. And it goes so fast. You might be able to find just one shade of our ShadowSense that works well for you. And there we go. I'm done with that. Okay, I am going to pick a lip color, and I'm going to get started with my lips, and then I'm going to finish up with my eye, my mascara, and then I got to do my hair quick. I'm recording this on a Sunday, so I got to get going. I've got church services to attend, but I just have a couple of things to finish up with, and then my look is going to be complete. All right, for my eyelashes, I'm going to go ahead and use our product that is a lash builder and booster and mascara in one. I absolutely love this product. So on this end, we have our lash builder. It's called UnderSense. That's going to volumize and thicken up your lashes. So if you're like me, you have thin lashes, you're going to start with that, and then we're going to move over to the mascara. Now I'm using brown to start with. I am going to put a small amount of black on right at the very end, but we have it in black and in brown. We also have where you can buy the mascara without the UnderSense. So whatever you need. If you don't have thin lashes, you know, I'm jealous of you. But basically I am putting on this UnderSense to start with, and it's kind of gray in color. So I'm just going to put that on to start with, and a very, very small amount on the bottom. I don't do much in the way of mascara on my bottom lashes. Okay, what I do is I just let that dry a little bit. Sometimes I use my Quilters Are Hot fan. And I just let that dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to come in with the actual mascara, okay? And our mascara is so awesome. It doesn't clump. It just goes on so smoothly. When I ordered this double-sided tube, they only had it in the brown at the time that I ordered it. So I really wanted it in the black, but they didn't have it at the time that I ordered it. So I just using it in brown. And then I'll go over again just a little bit on the bottom. I just don't do a whole lot on the bottom. Let that just dry a little bit. And then I come in with the black just to darken it down a little bit. And that's it. Just be careful to let it dry a little bit. I'm going to go off camera and do my other eye. and then we'll be back. We'll finish up with the lips. I'll do my hair, and we'll be done. All right, last but not least, before I do my hair, we're going with our LipSense today. I mentioned that it's a Sunday, and I know that many of you know that I'm a musician and I play flute at my church with my choir. And so what I want to do is have a very matte finish whenever I'm playing my flute. So today I am going to start with Praline Rose. You gotta clean your lips off, make sure they're dry and clean. And I'm going to start with the Praline Rose because it's very close to my natural lip color. Again, I'm getting a little off the product, off the wand. I'm going to hit the waterline, the fullest part of my lip, then I'm going to line, do the same thing on the top. Just like that. I love Praline Rose. Remember, you want to try to keep your lips apart while it's drying. All right, that's one layer. We'll put the video on fast forward. We'll get on to layer number 2. All right, matte finishes dry pretty quickly for me. So again, just you want to make sure it's not tacky before you go on to your layer number 2. I have decided to just brighten it up a little bit with the color Aussie Rose. And so here we go, layer number 2. Get a little bit of the product off. So pretty, Aussie Rose. Just brightens it up. All right, there you go. So pretty. Again, cue the Jeopardy music. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish up with the Praline Rose. Okay, so keeping it very neutral today and with the matte finish because I'm gonna be playing my flute. All right, here we go. Lovely. All right, I'm gonna do my gloss and my hair, and I'll meet you right back here. All right, so there you have it. Wow, I feel a lot more comfortable now that I have my pretty on. So just one more thing that I used off camera that I didn't show you is our translucent powder, and it comes in a tube like this. So this is loose powder in here, and it has its own brush included on the end. Now, one thing I love the powder, but I didn't love the brush. So it was hard for me to just get a small amount of the powder into the brush. I felt like I was wasting a lot of it, and I didn't want to do that. So all I did was I bought this little container on Amazon, and I bought the little pad that goes inside of it, and I just dumped my product from here into here, and it just helps me get a little bit less amount. I just need a little bit for finishing, and you know, you can just tap a little bit of that finishing powder right where you need it. So I used that off camera. I did my hair. I just got to grab my glasses, load up the car, and I'm ready to go to church. So again, you guys, thank you for joining me. And I will name all of the products that I used below. I can get all of those for you. Most of them I have in stock. Some of them I would have to order. But I absolutely love the Senegence skincare and cosmetic line. As I mentioned, I have a lot of problems with my skin, and I have gotten more compliments on my skin. When I mention to people that I have rosacea, they are like, well, you sure don't look like you do. And everything has just been going so well for me with these cosmetics. I really can't say enough good things about them. So let me list the products below. If you want to order anything, just give me a private message on Facebook. Shoot me an email at melissa at mkquilts.com. That's my business, my quilting business email address. So that's Melissa at mkquilts.com. And I will be happy to finalize everything and get you some of these awesome products so you too can get your pretty on. All right, you guys, until next time, it's MK. Bye-bye.